I'll just say do the FMETF. At least it gives you exposure already without doing solid research anymore. By the time we're recording this, a lot of the conglomerates are relatively up. A lot of the property stocks are relatively up. But up until now, I think banks are underpriced still. BDO still is the largest in terms of assets, and it has not gone up in proportion to the other banks. I'll add BDO to the mix. I'll go for dividends. Either PLDT, Globe, or AREIT. Either of those three. At least it gives them cash flow.
It's good information. It's good to know where the market is. It's good to know what other people think where the market is going. But you make your own decisions based on the due diligence process that you like to do. And so in the coming year and in the coming years, yun pa din ang gagawin ko. The same thing that I've done before, and I keep just preparing for the future. After all, like Rex, I only play just a little bit.
It's like another day, you know. It's just like another month, another year. Yes, a lot of people would say, oh, 2020 is such a bad year. Hey, 2020 was full of blessings for all of us. I mean, if you're going to be looking what happened to us, personal lives, investments, and all that, it's a blessing. I mean, I'm not going to have it any other way. We needed it. I mean, it's what the doctor ordered for humanity, what the doctor ordered for all of us. So I'm going to take it and say, you know, life goes on. It's going to be the same strategy, and you can refine it here and there. Change of names, change of stocks, but the same attitude and behavior.
I would have wanted to do that more so that my investment decisions would be wiser. As you said, Marvin, you know, and Salve was saying that, you know, you just don't take a recommendation from someone. Yes, the recommendation is like a pointer to say, hey, study more. Pero tayo kasi when we get a recommendation, you know, we press the button right away and buy, bahala na. But what I've learned is, you know, it's really good to do your own research, and then you have more confidence in making that decision, and then you own it. You know, whatever happens, good or bad, you know, this is my decision.
All three of you are respected by a lot of people. I honor and respect all of you also because of what you guys have done in all of your fields of success. Now, I'm asking this because for a lot of people, a lot of them, they saw 2020 as a year na kumbaga in Tagalog, bigo sa kanila. Was there a point in your life that you thought that you were at the end also, that you wanted to quit, that your businesses were not doing so well, your finances was not there also? The reason why I ask that, because there might be people going through that situation right now, that when they hear it coming from you, that it can turn around, it will turn around, it will recover, that it could give them somehow hope also.
Yeah, it happened when I was this was 20 plus years ago. I was a missionary, and I was decided I'm gonna become still a missionary, but I wanted to earn money for my family and also for the ministry. So I wanted to become an entrepreneur, and it was really rough because I started losing one business after another. Mga maliliit lang na negosyo, pero lugi, business number 1, business number 2, business number 3, you know. And I was really so frustrated, and I was telling myself, siguro maging misyonaryo na lang ako talaga. Hindi na ako mag-asawa. But I really felt a calling to be a person that represents God as an ordinary layman, you know, not a priest, but somebody who's a husband, a father, and an entrepreneur. That was the time I decided I don't want to live off the offerings of that people give to me, you know, as a missionary. I said I want to be independent, and but you know, being so frustrated, I wanted to give up. Like I was telling myself, ang hirap, ang sakit manlugi sa negosyo, you know, one after another. Hindi lang minsan eh. But then I told myself, no, I need to learn. I need to learn. And yun pala ang kulang, mentors. Yun pala yung kulang, the humility to ask help and get wisdom. So finally, the first one business started working, the other business started working, and there was light at the end of the tunnel. And I really believe that many of my successes now come from the fact that I learned a lot of lessons in all my failures.
So many things to tell you.
Kaya ba Salve yung iyak kami? Pag si Salve napapaiyak yung audience ibang klase, pero go.
Kakaloka ka, wag naman. Happy New Year.
Kilala ko na nga yung pagong ni Salve.
Yeah. That was the childhood and teenage years were parang na front load. Lahat ng fees, front-loaded yung pondo ng buhay ko. Kasi in the early years, it was really, really difficult. And I think it provided a lot of the strength that allowed me to live the next 20 years of my life. So before I turned 40, I've already experienced, I think, many heartbreaks that not a lot of people will have to go through. So both personal, financial, it was, there was a time in our lives where I had to go to the market every day because we did not have a refrigerator. So kung bibili ako ng isda na pang isang linggo, bulok na siya at the end of the day. And my husband, parang ang ginawa niya, bumibili siya ng ice just so I can cook until the end of the day. It was a very difficult time, but never in my life did I think of quitting. Because so long as you have breath in your body, as so many people keep saying, there's still a fight to be made. And who knows what your story will be if you end it now. This pandemic has played or wreaked havoc on a lot of people's mental health. And it's really tough. I mean, yung generation natin, hindi ko na isasama si Marvin kasi bata pa siya, di ba? Brother Bo and Rex, yung generation natin, pag sinabing malungkot, nagdadrama lang yan. Depressed? Ano yan? Drama yan. Di ba? Pero ngayon, hindi mo na pwedeng ignore. All of these young people have a different life now compared to what we had in the past. And when they are depressed, we need to listen. We need to share what we had in the past so that their lives are enriched, their horizons grow, and they will benefit from the wisdom of those who came before them. So to anybody who's listening, who's maybe going through something, your story has yet to be written. And it can be a really great one.
Wow. Grabe. Di na ako magsisimba sa linggo. Super, I'm enlightened. Grabe. And before I hand it over to Rex, please remember, guys, that your greatest days are always in front of you. And the reason why you're still alive right now is there's a plan and a purpose also for your life. And here's the thing, I really believe that your ending will always be amazing. That's why if it looks so dark today, that means it's not yet the end, because how you end it will be something that will be very, very good. Rex.
I guess I believe this. If you're not successful enough, maybe you haven't failed enough either. If I'm going to look back, people just don't know what I've been through. I mean, Salve is a story that I'd want to be able to share with a lot of people. It's not because of what happened to her, it's because of what she did to what happened to her. So, ako ganun din, and I pick up from what she said. Any of those failures, I never considered it the end, or I never considered it probably a time to stop trying. It's just a seamless, continuous process. So if I get to a setback, it's just a bump in the road. I mean, I'm going to continue on this road. It's not going to make me stop. So I guess that's the main thing that I have to share with a lot of people. Maybe some people think, I had my whole path neatly laid out. I mean, it's so flat and comfortable. It wasn't like that. I mean, there were times when, I get swung from one side to the other, almost like people saying, it's a perfect decision for Rex. He's so great. A lot of people don't think some of those decisions are not mine. Some of those decisions are challenges being brought to me by certain circumstances. God just made it right for me. So I always tell a lot of people this. I mean, closing doors will always happen. And all of you know, another door will open. God will open another door for you, but always make sure you praise Him in the hallway. If there is no door that opens yet, praise Him in the hallway. It will happen. So it's a matter of that continuous effort. So every challenge, every failure is but a step. Yeah, I've never really considered failing. It's not a failure. It's a bump. It's a lesson. And as I've said, we move forward doing that. What doesn't kill you makes you strong.
Kinakanta yan.
Pwede mo mag-sample? Hindi, joke lang. Okay, last two questions. But guys, if you're learning from all of this, comment, I'm learning. Comment, I love Salve. I love Rex. Salve was saying about Netflix. Guys, baguhin natin. Rex Flix, Bo Flix, Salve Flix. Yung dapat yung pinapanood natin ngayon. Comment also, I love Bo Sanchez. If you guys are enjoying all of this. This is something very, very new, but I want to flip the table. If you guys have one question that you would like to ask, that's so interesting. What would it be? And I'll try to answer it to the best of my capacity also. Maybe Rex, Brother Bo, then Salve.
I know this question is in the minds of all the people who follow you, Marvin. January 1, 2021. What would be the top 3 stocks that Marvin will own?
Okay. I'll qualify it. Is it for trading or investing?
So let's do both, trading and investing. 3.
Okay. Okay. For those who are investors, I'll just say this. I'll segment it this way. For those na super tamad, na they just want exposure, and then they don't really want to study a lot already, I'll just say do the FMETF. At least it gives you exposure already without doing solid research anymore. But then number 2, I'll look at this. By the time we're recording this, a lot of the conglomerates are relatively up. A lot of the property stocks are relatively up. But up until now, I think banks are underpriced still. And looking at those banks also, you have Security Bank, you have Union Bank, you have BPI, you have Metro Bank, all of which have gone up. With the exception of BDO, it has gone up a bit, but not as high as all of them. So if I would nitpick by the time this is recording and segment all of the banks, BDO still is the largest in terms of assets, and it has not gone up in proportion to the other banks. I'll add BDO to the mix. Then, so we have something for super tabad na tao. Then, second is for someone who would want something that has growth na medyo mura na okay pa. Then, third one is, I'll go for dividends. Either PLDT, Globe, or AREIT. Either of those 3. At least it gives them cash flow also. So, that's how I would segment it. Those who want to be super passive, FMETF. Those that want to position na medyo mura, na medyo maganda, na solid still, banks, BDO. Then, dividends. Kasi up until now, I think PLDT and Globe would give you around 5+% dividend yield. Then AREIT, by the way, for those watching this, watch prior to this, we had an interview with AREIT CEO Carol Mills. We talked about certain aspects of their expansion, and it's very, very interesting also because a lot of people were scared about their tenant mix. Pero pag alam nila gano'n naka-lock in yung mga tenants doon, yung na BPO sila, wala sila exposure sa POGO, it gives you a sense that predictable yung income nila. So that's how I'll segment it there. For trading, it's harder to say kasi I use technical. So by the time January 1 would open, it may be at a different portion already. But looking at it from support and resistance, top of mind, no, I would look at pure gold because 40.54 or 40.44, that particular range. So if pure gold stays above 40 up until January 1, and then it's holding that range, a probable tradable range is 40.44, 40.54, depending on what your timeline is. So wala akong other 2, no, but there are some stocks kasi that are in uptrend still, the ones that have moved up. I would continually stay in them kasi we've been talking about me and Rex were talking about mga DMCI, GT Capital when they were reversing. They're not anymore at that position at that particular time. So ganito na lang. I'll make a video January 1 and then I'll answer that and then put some stocks there. Yon. I hope that gives justice to that particular question. Anyways, Brother Bo,
personal question because I really want to know you more. You know, the biggest failure in your life that taught you the greatest lesson.
I never really experienced something na super, super big. But I learned a lot from the failures of my parents that caused me to become aggressive early on. And my stance kasi when I was younger, I saw my parents lose money when they were in their 50s. So I said, kung magkakamali ako, gawin ko na ng 20. So I had I had several mistakes that if it happened na 50 years old ako, feeling ko mapipilay ako. But losing money, putting in money into a business na tinakbuhan ako, giving money to someone na babayaran ka tapos hindi na nagre-reply sa iyo, buying a stock in 2009 na dahil sinabi ng friend ko na aakyat and then only to see it go down 50%. I had siguro a series of mistakes, but those mistakes were okay for me because somehow I did it at a very, very young age and at a point where it wasn't backstory. My parents, we had a gas station when we were younger. We were distributing napkins, but because my dad didn't really study the business as well, nawala lahat. So he lost everything. He went from lahat ng inipon niya, lahat ng negosyo niya, at 53 years old, he lost it. So sabi ko, ayoko mangyari sa akin yun. If I lose something, I'll do it in my 20s. I'll do it habang may salary ako. That's why I went in the offense. So, yun, I had my share of mistakes. I've started some mga small retail businesses na ninanakawan ka pala ng tao mo, hindi mo alam. But those are things that I've learned. I've seen some stocks where I had to sell na masakit na pikit mata na lang na pero kailangang ibenta yun. It severely damaged my portfolio. Then I've seen, I bought, I'll give you another example. More than 10 years ago, Jollibee, 75. Sabi ko, trader ako. Bili ako 75, naging 73. Nag-cut ako, only to go to 77. Tapos bumili ako, tapos bumaba siya ulit to 75. So nag-cut ulit ako. Sabi ko, there should be something better here. And I've realized that, people glamorize the gains in trading. What's not talked about was the process behind those gains, those gains also. So, a lot of those mistakes that people would always talk about, I think I had my share, but it wasn't super big na napilayan ako financially. And I would say this all the time in the videos that anytime I would go into something, I always put an amount that I could tolerate. So even Bitcoin, we've been talking about Bitcoin. I don't know where it will be 20 years from now, but whatever I put there, even if it goes to zero, okay lang sa akin. So I hope I answered the question well. Nako, si Salve na, kinakabahan ako. Oh my gosh. Okay, gay.
I love what you said. But before I ask my question, I love what you said about being very quiet about losses. Alam mo, so many crises in the last 25 years. And in the media, mapapansin mo talaga na when the market's going up, everybody's noisy.
Yeah.
And once bumagsak na yan, nako, wala nang gusto magsalita. Pero pag paakyat, everybody's mayabang. And so really, you really have to take all of these noise into consideration when you're, parang you know how to tune things out. Because you know that what is said out there on TV, what you read in the newspaper, they're only half the story. Ang sama ko, no? Siyempre, media ako, di ba? Pero I want to be honest with everybody. You read it and you have to be very intelligent when reading it because what people don't say is half the story. And if you know how to do that, you'll make your portfolio will be better.
Salve, before I go to your question, I remember lang a mistake also. Kasi this was 2009. I won't mention the stock anymore, but there was a friend, sabi niya, bilhin mo to. And I saw him, sabi ko, what conviction this guy has? Kasi humihiram pa siya sa mga kaibigan niya para pandagdag. He was guaranteeing them 10%. And I saw the stock move from 12 to 15 to 21 to 24. Sabi ko, what conviction? Sabi niya, Marvin, mag-50 to. At 24, mag-50 to. So sabi ko, kung nanghihiram siya para pambili doon, sabi ko, I'll follow that kasi he's putting his money where his mouth is. Tapos he's leveraging pa. So I did it. So ayun, the stock went from 32 to 24 to 16 to 13, tapos nagpiso siya at some point nagpiso siya. Pero I eventually cut everything at 16 and 13. So yun, that's why when I say to people that don't listen to what your friend is telling you, it's mainly also because napagdaanan ko rin yun na ang galing niya eh. Pero it doesn't mean that they made good trades in the past na mauulit nila yun. Anyway, so there.
Parang uminit yung mukha ko nung kinakwento mo yun. Kasi we see a lot of that. And what I really like about you, Marvin, is that you're willing to talk about your mistakes. And alam nating lahat na even us in the media, me, when I choose people to interview, pinipili ko yung mga tao na sinasabi nila na nagkamali sila in the past. I don't trust anybody who makes me believe that puro gains lang siya. Kasi that person not either lying or not enough experience in the market. Tama ba, Boss Rex?
Malaking bagay yung yung sinabi ni Marvin na you make the mistake while you're a lot younger. Can you just imagine if you make that mistake now that you have more? So certainly it will hurt more. Right? So I guess going through the mistakes, kaya ako, I only say that as well. It's because, when I get to train my kids, when I get to teach them lessons, I want them to go through all that. Learn from other people's mistakes so that you don't have to repeat it yourself. But, do what you can today, risk on, because I'm still here. And you just imagine when you guys are on your own and, you might get hit by that big thing, by that big failure, and you're on your own, might get to be devastating, right? So take the risks today.
Got it. Okay, Salve, let's do this. Scared, but let's do this.
On the spot kita, Marvin, paano pumapasok yung politika sa investment decisions mo? And what will make you stay in the Philippines and not migrate?
That's why it's all about hedging. It's all about hedging. That's why I'm also invested outside. I realized it at a certain point that at the end of the day, the Philippines is still an emerging market. It will give you a larger growth potential, but in the same way, it's also nice to have stability. That's why I love REITs 2013, 2014, dati pa. Kasi that's something that I did not get sa Philippines at that particular point in time. So I don't know what the political situation will be 2025, 2030, 2035, but I want to be in the game here, and I also want to be positioned also elsewhere, either as a form of hedge or as a form of growth. So in terms of how it will be, I don't know but magagawa ko lang, hindi ko control yung political situation, pero control ko yung pwede kong gawin, which is how I would either protect my finances or at least have a backup plan if things don't go my way. So ganun lang ginagawa ko na people always say na na yung pera parang when you save up enough, dadating yung point na hindi ka magiging fearful about money. Pero na-realize ko, it doesn't happen. There always will come a point na, what if yung binili mong bonds, nag-default siya kahit safe yung bonds? What if yung binili mong preferred share, kahit safe, biglang all of a sudden, hindi sila magbayad? Those things come into my head And that's why parang, all that I can do, hindi ko control lahat yun, is I can just be responsible and just hedge. And that's why also, medyo makash ako kahit talo ako sa inflation. Lahat ng rules you said about the percentage, sabi ko bina-violate ko lahat yun kasi sabi ko I want this tangible buffer that I can have, especially sa markets. I don't know how the markets will be 8 years from now so I want to have this level of cash. So one thing though is if you run for president, sure yun, tigil lahat, I will support you. So yun.
Grabe, talaga run for president. Tatakbo, run far away from whatever political ambition there is.
So I guess to sum it up, to answer your question, I just really like to hedge and I just like to segment that may level of I don't know kung comfort that I'm not overexposed to a certain level or of investment, that okay ako. Kung meron man nakatakot, I know that not everything is there. So I'll just put everything to a close, and thank you so much, guys, for being part of this and being game. This is one of the longest podcasts that we've ever had, but thank you so much for being part of this very, very historic recording that I've ever done. Uh, I guess to put this to a close, a lot of people honor you, respect you, follow your opinions and your advices. What would be your final words for people watching this? A lot of people tune into the channel. Either they want to grow the cash that they have, or they want to maximize what they have, or at least get new ideas. Since we're starting 2021, anything that you would like to impart?
The greatest blessing in the world is really to be a blessing to others. I keep on saying that, you prosper, and it is your duty to prosper so that you can prosper others. And I'll keep on, crisis or no crisis, pandemic, no pandemic, the message is the same. But if you are very clear with your why, your emotional why do you want to grow your finances? Why do you want to earn more? If it's very, very clear that it's so that you can spread more love, you'll be okay.
Wow.
Ganda.
Grabe.
I know I've shared this with you before, Marvin, but I want to. In the beginning of the pandemic, I was asked to give financial literacy sessions to the ayuda beneficiaries of Vico Soto. It was difficult because it had to be face-to-face, and we couldn't do one big event, so we had to do small sessions of 20 people, socially distanced, tapos yung iba nun sa ilalim ng puno. And people were hungry for information, and they kept saying, bakit hindi ka namin nakilala dati pa? Sana kung nasimula namin to ng 20 years old. Nung katulad ng mga jeepney driver ni Boss Rex, di ba, na magkano lang, 1,000, 1,000, 1,000. But over time, it's going to amount to something that they can depend on much more than what they get from SSS every month or GSIS, di ba? And so what I want to impart is this: we're all better off when we're all better off. It's similar to what Brother Bo said, and it's, gaining wealth is not a zero-sum game, even if it is about cash. Isipin mo, sometimes if you get more cash, other people will have less. But the truth of it is, when you gain more cash and you help other people gain more cash, the whole pie gets bigger. And if you think about it, if we're all in the stock market gets more stable. It won't be as volatile. It won't be as vulnerable to the whims of foreign investors. So it's really beneficial to everybody, including those in the bottom 40% of the Filipinos, if we try to show them and be more relevant. Are the things that we say should be more relevant to the bottom 40, then all of us will benefit. It's going to be a better Philippines for everybody.
See? From press. Grabe.
Spam na naman ako sa'yo. Pero totoo yun. Alam mo, nakita ko yung isang, tinuro ko ngayon, parang kung 25 pesos per day lang. Sabi nila, kaya naman namin yan. Do you realize that 25 pesos per day is 6,000 pesos per year? Sinong may ganun? Tingin nyo yung mga nakakurbata sa Makati, may 6,000 pesos sa bank account nila. Puro utang yun eh. But you can do it. Even the mambabalot can do it. And it was the way for them to wrap their minds around the fact that they don't have to be poor. They don't have to. But sinong pumapansin sa mga tao na nasa ibaba? We need more people like you. Brother Bo, Rex, na kahit na wala naman siyang hindi na kailangan ni Rex yung pera niya from the YouTube channel or for whatever. Set na yan for life. But this is a passion. This is an advocacy because truly, again, we're all better off when we're all better. Kailangan magrevolusyon ang financial sector. Kailangan tutukan na natin ang mga nasa ibaba.
Kaya guys, comment I love Salve if you want more of Salve. Okay, Rex Mendoza.
Again, for me, go for what Brother Bo and Salve already mentioned. No, it's all a matter of perspective for me. It all starts with the way you perceive things. How bad things are, how good things can be. It depends on you. It doesn't depend on what's outside. It depends on you and what you have in your heart. Again, I give honor to my team in Ramper. Diba? I mean, we're not in social media. They pushed me towards it. And then to let you guys know, surprise of all surprises, we hit target for 2020. We hit target. You see this backdrop? It says exceeding limits in 2020. 2020 was a good year for us. We exceeded targets. So is 2021 going to be very different for all of you? It depends on your perspective. It can be a coming out year for many of us. It can be the start of something great for all of us. It depends on how you do it, how you think about it. For me, it's always going to become a self-fulfilling prophecy. What you think is what you will get. So I wish everyone, a stronger 2021. And when I say that, it really depends on what you have in your heart. It depends on what you expect. Whether you guys, really believe it or not, I still love the law of attraction. It's what you attract in your life, depending on your perspective. And as I've said, as you give more and more to others, may feeling ka na ng abundance. I agree with Brother Bo. Kasi pag nagbibigay ka, iba . Ibig sabihin, meron kang ibibigay. Then what happens? Then you continuously let the flow happen. And when that happens, you're just going to be better off. So it's that. I wish everyone a better, stronger 2021. And no one can make that happen except us. Vaccine or no vaccine. It's just gonna be better depending on what you do with it.
Amazing. And to everyone watching this, I'm not sure if you saw how they structured what they were saying. What Brother Bo, Rex Mendoza, and Salve, their lives, what they're doing is they're doing something that's bigger than themselves. That they're living their lives, they're investing, they're doing businesses so that it impacts not just them, not just their families, but the generation and the people around them. And I think that's the biggest use of money, that your money is something that has a purpose, that pag may nangangailangan, ikaw yung nandun, nagbibigay mo yung pera mo, yun yung nararamdaman ng tao. That when your money is something that touches people, I think that's the strongest use of money that could ever be done. And we talk a lot about money in this channel, but it's money with a mission that makes it well worth it. So before I let you all go, Brother Bo Sanchez has a YouTube channel. Please subscribe to his channel. Again, I'll say this, kahit di na kayo mag-subscribe sa akin, kahit sa kanya na lang, please subscribe. They also have a subscription program for Truly Rich Club. Link is in the description. You can support them that way. Rex Mendoza has Ramper, Soldivo. They also have a YouTube channel. And now they also have an insurance for dengue via GCash also. Very, very interesting. Please support that. Very, very small amount. You get coverage also on top of that. I'll put the link. Please subscribe to their channel. And then Salve Duplito, napilit natin. May YouTube channel na siya. Next na, bubuli natin siya. Salve, where's your book? Labas mo na yan. Labas na natin yung libro mo. Guys, if you want Salve to have a book, comment, I want Salve's book to be out. By the way, Brother Bo and Rex Mendoza, they also have books. I'll put it in the description also for those that want to grab a copy of it. But it's something very, very insightful. So, Salve Duplito, Rex Mendoza, Brother Bo Sanchez, thank you so much for gracing this. It was an honor to have you this super, 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 super long collaboration. But thank you, everyone. And I hope this video helps you trade well, trade strong, trade smart. See you all again soon. And God bless you all.
If I'm going to diversify, it's because I also am knowledgeable about those other things that I want to go into. Kasi may ibang tao magda-diversify for diversification's sake, kahit wala sila masyadong alam dun sa i-investan nila. For me, mas risky yun. Kaysa sa, huwag ka na mag-diversify. Just invest it in what you know, what you're good at.
In my years of doing business personally and also giving ideas and consultancy for other organizations, yun nga, syempre, you fight until the last drop of your blood, diba?
Yes.
But however, you must also set a limit. Set a limit na never allow, I hope na never allow pride. I always tell people, never allow pride, never allow yung emotions for you to make that decision.
You exhausted na lahat yung mga bagay na pwede mong i-exhaust at talagang nakikita natin na hindi pa rin siya magiging okay, then I think that's the red flag to say na suko na ako.